Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. The Good Place Collective, Coffee with the Collective. We are so excited this morning to introduce the wonderful Treena Fleming from Helping Hands Healing. Treena supports women in their self-care strategies, especially those going through a career transition. And we are so excited to get to know more about that and what it is that she's doing. So thank you. Hi, Treena.
Yay! Hello, Treena.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, how are you, girl? It's so nice to have you here.
Good. I'm really good. I feel really excited to be here and nervous, of course.
Oh my gosh. Yes, of course. Well, I know that, we all get nervous before going on camera. So know that you're not alone. Like I get nervous and I get really excited and I can't stop like squirming and all those things. So, guilty. But yeah, I just really want to acknowledge you for saying yes to this interview. And I know that you had shared that you were feeling a little nervous and know that we're all friends here and we've all been nervous about those next steps in our business. And I just really want to applaud you for having the courage to be like, yes, I'm scared or I'm nervous, but I'm present and I want to show up. And yeah, thank you so much for just being that person.
Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So I see that you are newer to Kelowna. You've been here for about 6 months, and that you have been, going along your healing journey for some time and transition. And, you've had the courage to step into business. So why don't you share a little bit about how you came to develop like the Helping Hands Healing as your business?
Okay. Try to make the short of it. So there was a few experiences in my life. I would say the death of my common law husband really helped me hone in on taking care of myself. But it was more just like a seed planted at that point. I was like 24 years old and I had been in personal growth for, I guess, just over a year. And then between that time and the time that my daughter came into the world, at 27, I was kind of dabbling. Like I was, first I was connecting to Reiki. So I got my Reiki 1 and 2 very quickly, actually. And that really changed my life. And then when my daughter came into the world, that's when I really struggled with self-care. And the seed was growing, but I was like very hard on myself as a mother. And trying to learn a lot, but at the same time trying to be a single mother. And it wasn't until she left at 15 with her godparents that I really had to like a whole new era of my life. Okay, she's gone. Now what? And that's when it really started growing. I delved into shamanism and got my certification in yoga and did some yoga stuff, being part of the community as I could. Still stayed in my job as a cleaner. Like I was in a cleaning role for a long time. It was hard for me to navigate into business. And after 17 years of being in Squamish and not really going anywhere, like keep like trying over and over again, like my spirit was like, you need to go. Like this is like your plateauing, you need to go. So that was an interesting journey because my parents were coming to Kelowna. So I helped them a little bit. They were leaving anyway, so I helped them clean their old apartment. I helped them organize a new house. Stayed with them for a couple of weeks in the summer of August. And I kept feeling to be in Kelowna. And so I left in October from Squamish to here. And so, yeah, and then right away, there was a opportunity to go into massage, and that's been calling me a really long time because my mom's always said, you're a natural massage. So I thought, well, I might as well get my certification. I'm not doing anything else. I was on medical EI due to my other job stressing me out in Squamish. So I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. So I just delved right in. It was super overwhelming. And I actually didn't pass with my class, which was very humbling. So I had to rise above myself and complete my certification on my own, reach out to a mentor in Rainer Massage, who's one of my spiritual support people now. Her name's Asia. And so the rest is kind of history. I thought, well, it's time. COVID happened. I tried to get my clientele going, and it wasn't really going as quick as I wanted. And then COVID happened, and I'm like, oh, thank God I get to rest. Because Corona was like this intense energy for me. I wasn't used to it. Like I'm used to 25,000 people, and now I'm at 200,000 people.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Kelowna is a lot. And gosh,
Yeah.
Treena, there's so much I can relate to. And I feel like Tammy and Sarah can relate to too, just as you share your story. And I can also relate to this calling to being in Kelowna. And I think that also aids in the energy that's here that we feel that sometimes can be really overwhelming, because there are some amazing people that have also been drawn here. And there's like this beautiful vortex of like change and entrepreneurialism and, us banding together in this consciousness that's continuously growing. And it's so beautiful and it's so exciting. And it sounds like, just listening to your journey, and thank you so much for sharing it with us. I feel like our story really molds us into who we are today. And, we have so much wisdom and experience that we get to share with others. So do you want to share a little bit with us, what inspires you to share, to have an offering for your clients?
Well, I didn't really know where I was going to go. And I feel very connected to spirit, as you probably can tell. And I'm like, kind of like, well, now what, spirit? COVID's happening. I know you're calling me to do this, but like, what is this, right? And the name had already come through me once I got my certification. So I had the name, but not a real focus fully. I knew it was self-care because it's like, duh. So Elizabeth Beats, she had this free online business offering, and she was doing a 3-day series. And that's how I went into it. She inspired me by the information she was saying. She was so motivational, like, you need to get your message out there. And she gave us steps on how to do it. And what really was the clincher for me was she would offer these, what is it? Losing my words, sorry. These contests, and you would have to do a video contest based on, a topic. And so one time she offered this topic on, like, what do you want to offer? So I did this head massage video, and it was sideways. But I gave it in anyways. My
Good for you.
Yeah, my spirit is like, just do it. Like,
totally
think about it. And I ended up winning the contest.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so
that was spirit's way of saying, yep, you need to join this. This is your calling. It's time now.
Well,
so
I really
So she ended up giving a really good price for what she was doing, and I'm like, fine, I'm just gonna do it. So that's where it started.
It's so beautiful to have people like that inspire us. And, I've worked with business coaches, and it sounds like very similar to what Elizabeth Beads is offering in terms of challenging me. Like, I have a voice, I have a message, And, you know, you're like, we have the right, and, you know, we're encouraged to share that message because nobody's the same. And we all have these beautiful gifts and talents. And I just love that there's people out there like Elizabeth that are like, you go girl. And yes, like,
Yeah.
you know, share that. And it's so inspiring. And, you know, I think of myself as well, where it's like, if I didn't have somebody doing that, I wouldn't have, you know, taken that initiative. I wouldn't have taken that first step. And same for you. Like, the momentum that's been created is so exciting. So this is
Yeah.
like a pivotal point for you in your profession, in your career, in your business, in your offering. And I'm just so excited for you because we get to watch it unfold, and we get to be here to support you and cheerlead with you. And oh my gosh, I'm just so excited for you, Treena. Um,
Thank
and so with the Good Place Collective as well, you know, we are a group of people coming together and elevating one another, and, you know, offering opportunities to collaborate. So I wonder, you know, in terms of collaboration, what does collaboration mean to you?
well, to me, it means like focusing on the bigger picture. Like what is the vision and the mission of the collective, and what's my part in that? Like, what am I supporting? Because like I like to know, for example, what my expectations are, as well as expectations of others on a personality scale. But then there's the higher vision, which is the higher consciousness scale. And so I think when the two are in balance, then we know how to come together. We're not like scattered all over the place, but it's like, okay, what's my piece? Okay, so make sure that my piece is helping the collective. And I think communication is very important with that understanding as well. So
Absolutely. I think communication and, you know, for us to come together and be able to clearly communicate what our needs are and actively listen to the needs of others, and, you know, finding that middle ground where we come together. And I think it's just such a beautiful synergy that can be created. And so I'm really intrigued and inspired by you, Treena, because you are offering self-care strategies. And I think for entrepreneurial people, you know, self-care is one of the last things that gets on the list. And we might have the best of intentions, but sometimes it even gets removed from the list. So if there was like one suggestion or one tip you could give us to keep that self-care top of mind, what would that be?
remember your breath.
Mm.
The breath is the only thing you can't live without for like 30 seconds. You can't live without it. So if you're breathing shallow, it means that you're programming yourself to move from fear instead of from your deep self, which is your breath. And
That's beautiful.
for me, it's like I focus, like some people focus, like the heart math people, they like to focus more on the heart, which I think is great. But because our shallow breath comes from our chest, I tend to focus on my abdomen. So I'll put my hand over my abdomen if I'm like, especially in a lot of tension, I will like focus on my breath there. And you can do that anywhere. You can be in the washroom, you can be in front of somebody, you know. So yeah.
I think that's really powerful, and I really appreciate you bringing it, you know, to our attention, because, you know, even if we are stepping into session with a client or if we're hopping on a phone call, you know, it really can take less than 30 seconds to have a couple of deep breaths and remember, you know, to get centered within ourselves and be in control of this, you know, being before we choose to engage with another. And I think that's such a beautiful reminder. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. And it's just been so nice connecting with you, Treena. Thank you so much for your time. I think Tammy has some things she'd like to share with us as well.
Definitely, Treena. Thank you so much for coming out today and for offering your good tips. And we appreciate you so much. And tell me now where it is that we can find you online. And what is it that you have that you wanted to make an offer to the collective, to the group? And we appreciate so much for you being here with us, by the way. You've given us some really invaluable feedback And we just love you so much for that. And we appreciate it. It's really helping us to grow and develop as we grow and develop. And it's just such a great opportunity. And I honestly believe we have a similar story. But I honestly believe that there's no coincidences in life. So that you're here in Kelowna and that you're now part of the collective, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I think that stands for, all of us that are here and part of this, because our vision for this is that view, that 50,000 foot view of what can we do and how can we bring about the change. So we appreciate you being here so much with us today. And yes, please tell us where we can find you online. And of course, in the comments, once we've posted this video, please put in the comments some connections with you, email, like whatever you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very, like I said, I'm super grateful to be here. I'm still nervous, but I'm working through it. I'm promoting my own.
Great.
That's not a problem.
So right now I'm focusing on the social media of Facebook right now. My website's still in process, but my website is also connected to Facebook. So it's Helping Hands Healing page. Okay. And then my free offerings I offer through self-care strategies for women in career transition. So that's where you'll see the free offerings, tidbits and all that. I like to keep them separate because not everybody wants to hear, free offerings. So, but I do let people know through my page that, here's some offerings that I'm offering on my group. I just don't get into the details of that on my page as much as possible. Once in a blue moon, you might see little pieces, but.
That's great. So we will ensure that everyone take a look at your page, Helping Hands Healing on Facebook, give you a like if we haven't already. And as you proceed, please share with the group if you've started a Facebook group or things that you have going on, webinars, whatever, as you develop and grow. We want to be here to support you 100%. Thank you again so much for being here, Treena. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. And thank you everyone else for checking us out today in our collective coffee talk Wednesdays.
Cheers.
See you next week.